OMD-DEX300, and I got a guest in here, man. This guy is something else. He's amazing. Kind of look like Superman from Europe and shit. If you look at him, the haircut is primo extra, as they say over in Europe, extra primo good. So primo good. Welcome to the Corner Store Podcast, Bernie. Could you give me that last name? Galane. Now, see, I was going to say Galane, Galana. Fuck, I don't know, but it's very, very exotic. Very, how should I say? Je ne sais quoi. So I had to say it nice. I had to say it right. We got an amazing guest tonight. I don't really know what else to say, bro, other than thank you for coming.
Thank you so much for having me.
Nah, it's a pleasure, bro. Thank you for being here. The Corner Store Podcast has had a lot of interesting people. You're one of the few I can actually say that's really intriguing for your artistic prowess.
Thank you.
I mean, you're like a jack of all trades when it comes to many art forms, acting. You're a model. You've done a lot of stuff, man. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Modeling is like, I'm not proud of the modeling stuff because it's a gig, everybody can do it.
Really?
It's like, you just run up and down a couple times.
I don't agree. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that.
It's not like a skill or an art form or something.
Yeah, well, anybody.
It's a pretty shallow.
Anybody that got that jawline and actually has done modeling would say some shit like that. I'm not vain. I don't even like the job. See, yeah, it's a take it or leave it type thing. That's what makes it special because somebody saw that in you and they said, this guy needs to wear my clothes or this guy needs to represent my brand. And that takes special, not just the looks. A lot of people think, modeling is about looks. It's a big part of it, but there's a certain style people have to have. And you have that. Me, okay. I don't think I could be like, look, they got plus size models. I don't think I could be one. But you know what I'm saying? Because there's plus size models that have that plus, they might be bigger, but they have a modelish style. It takes a certain thing and you have to have a certain thing to do certain things. And you have that. And that's fucked up that you got 5 things that you can do. A lot of people don't have that. And the Bible speaks about that too, about people's talents. So you're honing in on that, and that's special. You're taking advantage of God's gifts He gave you.
Appreciate it.
Nah, it's all facts. So fuck. So tell me a little bit about yourself. Give me some of your background. Some for the Corner Store Podcast listeners here. And I'm gonna go ahead and see who's chatting with us. But I'm listening. Believe.
Yeah. So like born and raised Vienna, Austria.
Vienna, Austria. Like I believe Arnold Schwarzenegger is from there.
Close. He's from Graz.
Graz,
which is like 2 hours.
Just saw that documentary. It's a beautiful town.
I saw it
on Netflix. It was really good.
And you know what? You remember that one part where he talks about his dad? When he very similar. To
his pops was in the Austrian army, and he was a dick.
Yeah, and my dad was not a dick, but he was very strict. And it was very strict, uptight, small town Austrian upbringing.
I think I get that from hanging around certain people I know that are European. They all say the same thing, that their parents was on their ass. Is that something typical?
Well, it's like
shit. Hold on here. I think I might. Yeah, I'm an idiot. Hold on here. I think I might. You know me. I'm gonna fuck up at least once on my show. At least once. So I had to cut that down. I just want to see what's going on there. And you don't get to look at that because I don't want to see how handsome. I don't want you to see yourself all handsome and get all I look fucking great. Go ahead.
No, it's a different culture. It's definitely a different culture. It can be very uptight, very close-minded, but at the same time, they're like compared to America.
Yeah, I know. I lived over there. You know that. So.
I know that. Yeah, you speak a little German, right?
A tad.
And other things are like uptight here, right? So it's like a give and take, but like I couldn't wait to get out of Austria when I was a kid. I had to leave. I was always dreaming about America. They felt the same way. He felt the same way. Exactly.
So you guys are kindred spirits in that way. And
I met him.
Wow.
And he's a cool guy. I met him at his birthday party. I've only
seen him once. I've never talked to him.
Birthday party.
Really?
Yes. But he was still married to Maria Shriver.
Really? How'd you get in there? How'd you swing that?
I knew a composer. I think he did a soundtrack for one of his movies back in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
And he brought me along. So I got into
wow.
the birthday party, you know.
So you got to actually converse in your home language.
And you know what? It's funny because when I first came to America, I needed letters of recommendation to stay here.
Don't tell me that man did that.
And I hustled him. I sent him the same letter 20 times, right? And he didn't get back to me. But his secretary got back to me and said he just became governor. And he can't do that.
People would say he's trying to bring
his own people,
country in.
His homeboys.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
So she got back to me, you know. But then Phil Collins wrote me a great letter. So Phil Collins helped me to get into the country, which was amazing.
Hold up.
Yeah, it's true.
Hold the fucking phone. You know Phil Collins.
He's a great guy. You know.
Well, Phil Collins is one of my favorite musicians ever.
Oh, he's
an amazing drummer. I didn't know he was that great of a drummer many moons ago. When I first saw him or heard of him, he was doing lead vocals for the group, and himself. Well, then he went solo, but that was even more amazing. But when he was in concert, I saw him behind the drums singing lead. Yeah. I've never seen that before. I've never seen anybody play drums and sing lead.
That's good, right? Yeah.
It was amazing, bro. Dude, I fell in love with that man. Most unassuming person you ever seen in your life. If you saw him and you didn't know he did music, you'd be like, get the fuck out of here.
Amazing guy. You know, my immigration lawyer said that I needed a top-notch person, right? Mm-hmm. Because I'm coming more from the jazz fusion world.
Yeah.
I'm more like a jazz guy, you know.
Okay.
I always loved intricate, complex music since early childhood on. Like Chick Corea, Chick Corea, the piano player?
Yes.
Weather Report.
Right.
Fusion Band.
Yeah.
Joe Zawinul.
Mm-hmm.
Coltrane, Miles Davis, those are more
a little bit of Hiroshima. They had to move from what they used to do into fusion jazz. Hiroshima is a group from LA, all Asian, all Japanese.
Yeah.
And they kind of slid over into the fusion jazz style. Is fusion jazz more rock and rollish jazz? Would you consider?
Well, fusion what is fusion? It's a fusion of different styles of music. There's the jazzy part. I always love fusion because
what's that second one? No, it never
could
really
be rock and roll.
That's what I'm saying.
It could be rock and roll, world music. And it's a fusion of different styles, So you have the power and the volume of rock, and you have the freedom and expression of jazz.
You know what? I mean?
And I was always a fusion guy. Age 12, I like the rock band.
Yeah.
It's so easy.
Yeah. You think so?
We got started so young, my brother and me, with drums, and we were pretty good players at a young age. And we played those Guns N' Roses albums when we were 7 years old.
Easy, huh?
It's easy. It's easy music. So I got hooked on I remember one time my mom came home. She brought me an album from Chick Corea Electric Band with Dave Weckl on drums. Dave Weckl was playing drums.
Okay.
I put that album on, and man, it was like 720. I was like, what the fuck is that? Right?
Whoa.
It changed my life. I was like,
did you want to do it?
11 years old when I heard that. It was so technical and so all that finesse, and it was so complex. I didn't understand it, but it really it hit me.
Let me give you three drummers. Three drummers, and you read because I've seen you play. Wow. Anybody want to check him out? Now, this is no bullshit. Could you give them your Instagram, please, real quick?
Yeah, it's Galane_official.
Galane_official, correct?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Look, do yourself a favor and go on there and do two things. Look at his art and watch him play drums. I don't bring nobody in here that's weak. I can't do it. I can't bring a bum in here. This dude is so real talent always shines through. And I got to be around people like that. Let that shit rub off on me. I got to get some of that energy, bro. I got you, man. It's fucking, you a pretty talented dude. Now, the three top drummers in my estimation, and the only reason why I'm going to use rock drummers, it's not because you're white, not because you're here, it's because I believe, and there's some great R&B, Black Questlove.
Yeah.
Some of the baddest drummers in the world are brothers. Yeah. But I'm only going to ask because of these bands that I happen to like. And I happen to like rock music. For those who didn't know, you probably seen some videos I did with Van Halen and all kinds of shit. Neil Peart from Rush.
Great.
That's my guy, man.
Yeah.
Saw him in Europe.
Amazing band.
Thank you, Germany, because the Rush came to Germany, and Paul Cannon, one of my friends, took me, and I ain't never seen nobody strap themselves into a drum set and play a set of their music as he is ascending and being. I ain't never seen nothing like that. That threw me for a loop. I was like, I didn't know these rock, and see, I hadn't been to a lot of rock concerts. When I saw that, I'm like, this what you guys be going to see? I said, I gotta start going seeing some rock bands.
Yeah.
So I'd say 2 years in, the Monsters of Rock concert came to Nuremberg, Germany. Ken's like, I got Sunday, man. You going? I'm like, bro, we're supposed to be going to this club. I'm telling you, go. It's gonna be fucking great. I'm like, all right, man, I'll go with you. Flock of Seagulls, The Clash. Who else was there that day? I think Iron Maiden was there. It was crazy, packed, a lot of Germans. They was in there talking and just having a ball. And of course, I had to be an asshole. Sorry, military, you motherfuckers. You need to not let us smoke cigarettes like that out there. I bought a cartons, like 5-10 cartons. German cigarettes were fucking horrible. They knew it and they loved our cigarettes. They were like, please, let's get some of your nicotine, please. So I would go to the swap and I'd buy up all the fucking cartons. And on the black market, I used to make 40 marks a carton. Them motherfucking cartons was only like, what, 10 marks or some shit. So that was great. We made a lot of money, had a lot of sex, and listened to a lot of rock and roll. My second drummer, Eddie Van Halen. Or not Eddie Van Halen, I'm sorry, Alex. Alex is the man, bro.
Yeah. You know, those are band drummers. Band characters.
I get it.
You know what I mean?
I get it.
I'll tell you like the three geniuses on drums, right? Buddy Rich.
You know, I've heard that.
Dennis Chambers.
Now, who is that?
You don't know Dennis
No.
Chambers? Oh my God, check out Dennis Chambers.
Where did you?
Parliament Funkadelic.
Goddamn, that's who Dennis Chambers is?
He played.
Oh, okay, come on.
You know that
Come
era
on,
of
man.
music,
Come
that
on,
style of music.
Why
He
didn't
played
you
with
just say that?
Santana. He played with Santana. He played with.
Oh, he played with Santana.
He's a session guy. He played all kinds of people. John McLaughlin. He played with Mike Stern.
What about that dude? What about the black guy that did Michael Jackson stuff?
Jonathan Moffat?
Yeah, I've seen his videos. He do videos on YouTube.
He's awesome.
God, he's pretty dope.
Played with
man.
the Jackson 5.
Oh.
All the way back when Michael Jackson was a
But
kid.
shit, damn, look how he graduated from that shit. He started going nuts on his, future shit. Like, oh man, Rock With You and all that.
Yeah.
You remember a Rock With You? God damn, that was a fucking G. I don't even know who did that. As far as play the
You know
drums
who
on
played
that
in the
song.
studio?
Who?
J.R. Robinson. He's a great session drummer. He played for I think he's the most recorded drummer in history.
Nah.
Yeah.
Really?
He did all the Quincy Jones stuff and he played rock with.
That might be.
He played the whole album.
That might be true. Then, if he played, he probably played with everybody. If he played with Quincy.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know Quincy Jones' credits as far as production is really retarded. It's like he's worked with every fucking
And
body.
it's so good.
Pavarotti.
You know, when I
worked with.
paint, I don't like to listen to complex music. I stick to the easy stuff, and I have Quincy on a lot, all that 80s stuff.
Huh.
And the level of production and how good that stuff is, the whole musicianship.
I agree. Even Mike's stuff, which was more
before the machines took over,
was really poppy. Even though Michael's stuff was really poppy, Quincy was badass on that.
amazing, genius, man, genius.
Well, now that we on that, we're talking about Quincy Jones. What do you think about his controversial lifestyle? Supposedly, there's a lot of room now. I
Don't
don't
know too much about that. I love him for his music, and that's
then you leave it at that.
That's enough.
You know what? You really remind me of Arnold in that way because he's kind of like that. Arnold Schwarzenegger, like, you know what? I don't fucking care about that shit. All I care about is my family. You know, Maria, the kids. I tell them to get to the chopper. You know. I love Arnold. That's one of my favorite actors, and I got a lot more respect for him because I was pissed when he was governor because he was on the other side, so to speak. But as I saw the documentary, I understand what that man was trying to do.
Man, I have so much respect for that guy. You know, he's
really an across the aisle guy, isn't he?
Outstanding human being, man.
I don't know him that well because you actually met him.
Self-discipline.
But from what I can tell, his moral center is there. He has a moral center. And I thought it was bullshit when he was going against Trump, when Trump was off. You know, he'd do little videos. I think Trump is a fucking idiot. And, you know, he would be like, well, what kind? He's running the country in the fucking ground, you know, that shit.
Well, yeah.
And he was.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at Arnold's video because I'm like, Arnold, shut the fuck up. You were, you know, in my mind, I'm like, you were on his side. But in actuality, after watching that, and I don't want to make this is about you. So I don't want to make it about him in that documentary, but you need to see it. It's really good about his life. Arnold Schwarzenegger, that is. I got a chance to really see and delve into his political, you know, career. He really was an across the aisle dude. I didn't know. It wasn't working out at first. The people started to hate him in California.
Yeah, I know.
He brought in liberals from the other side, from the Democratic Party, to help him and his staff and implement policies that will help. And it started to turn around. Dude, I was like, you know what? I never knew that. But that's what the news will do. The news will have you thinking he's an asshole. He's a typical Republican. Yeah. No, but behind the scenes, this dude's really trying to bring
people together. Right.
You know what I'm saying? I felt bad because what I was thinking. But see, that's a propaganda machine in this country. And I talk about this kind of shit. I'm very politically. Yeah. I hate politics, so I talk about it.
Me too.
You know what I'm saying? I am not on anybody's side anymore. I was a Democrat. I supposedly had liberal ideas. Turns out that the history of that shit is so fucking corrupted and stupid that once you start hearing about what this party did.
How do you define liberal? How do you
define fucking conservative?
Or conservative. Tell me what it is.
The same thing. And you know what else?
Is it my right as a conservative to force anything on you?
I
agree. Of course not. So conservative,
agree.
What is that? It doesn't exist for me.
Let's take that.
You do whatever you want as long as you don't hurt anyone.
Let's take it a step further.
I can smoke, right?
Go, please. I think we'll both light up at the same time. I'm always ready.
Okay.
We've got a guest in the building. She's in the back.
You've a guest
gorgeous. She's beautiful. Wie heißen Sie? Haben Sie ein Kleingeld? Do you have any
ambition guy.
I love this guy. I wonder if anybody said anything to us today. Doesn't look like it. I don't think we got any chats going right now. That's surprising. But oh well, fuck them. We'll see it later. People be fucking busy, man. They do. Or am I wrong? Oh no, I got a couple people. I am wrong. I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, thank you guys. So, let me grab my notes here. We deviated a little bit.
That's good.
Tell me a little bit about your life before coming to the United States, and then a little bit of it afterwards, and then we're going to go on to your hopes and dreams. You know, what's your aspirations after that?
So, you know, as I said, I grew up in Vienna, Austria, and music from a very, very young age. You know, like I did that thing. My parents put me in this course with my brother. It's called early musical education, something like that. So you're like 3 years old, and you get introduced to the piano and the basic drums and percussion instruments, bongos, congas, drums, and all that stuff. So I started out on the piano, classical piano, age 4 or age 5. And my brother was the first one with the drums, right?
Wow.
So I kind of liked the drums, you know, and like I switched over and I became like obsessed with drumming. And we had this really good teacher.
Keep talking. Go ahead.
We had this really good teacher, you know.
Excuse me, folks. It's warm in here.
Yeah, you open that. What motivated us, you know.
Go ahead. I'm listening. We're listening. We're all listening, actually. Hey.
Oh, that's good, yeah. And you know, he was a really motivating guy, and we ended up in this group, like called the Kids on the Drums and the Session Brothers, which was like
the Session Brothers. That's kind of tight.
The Session Brothers were like an adult rhythm section, like bass, guitar, singers, you know. And we played lots of percussion and drums, and we would rotate the percussion. The kids would play the percussion instruments. And that band totally took off, you know. We got a song on the charts. And
how old were you guys then?
I was like 10. I was already touring.
So you charted in Austria?
In Germany, actually.
Germany.
Austria, Netherlands.
And this, what style of music was this?
It was like Latin pop, rock.
Really?
Pop rock. It was cool, man. It was great. I gotta play some stuff for you one day. It's like.
So did it make it to the radio over there?
Yes. It was amazing, man. It was a magical period in my life. Other kids would go to school, and I would play in Paris. I played in Budapest, in Hungary, or like do a TV show in Innsbruck. And like.
Damn.
It was an amazing period, and we got introduced. You remember Brian Adams, the pop star?
Yeah.
And we opened for that guy, like 40,000 people, when I was like 11 years old.
So what ended up happening?
Well, we just kept playing, and the kids grew up, and we played for like 6-7 years. So that band was around for a while, We played 3-4 shows a week, going on the road, playing professional, And so we all got introduced to music, And I was a kid, man, and the other kids would go to school.
That's cool, though, bro.
And we get paid, and you get the royalties. And I was like, I like that, man.
Huh.
I really like that. So I got hooked like crazy.
You guys got signed to a label?
Yeah, BMG Areola.
Fuck, that's a nice.
Back in the day,
a good label back then.
Back in the day, there was still a music business.
Yes.
And it's all gone now, of course, as we all know.
How much did they make you guys recoup? How much did they front you? Did they front you, or they paid for all the studio time?
It was old school. You would book the studio
exactly
for 3 weeks.
And so the money came, and they were like, "Oh, we had to advertise, we had to this, we had to that, and you only get this."
It was old school,
Yeah.
There was a lot of money in the music industry.
A lot.
Clive
Davis wouldn't be Clive Davis.
It's like there is no more music business now. It doesn't exist anymore. It's a completely different thing now.
I beg to differ.
Well, yeah, if you sell makeup and underwear.
Look, these artists are getting fucked in the ass worse. They didn't get a lot of money back then, but they're getting less now. They have 360 deals where you're getting a penny a stream. Just imagine this.
Maybe not even a penny, man.
No, it's a penny.
What is it on Spotify?
I think it's a penny.
I think it's 0.018 or something cents or something like
they that. They renegotiate that shit quick once you hit 1 million streams, though. Once you hit 1 million, they renegotiate that really fast because they understand that you have people now. Okay, so 9 times out of 10, a new artist today, if they're really hot locally, because you got to build your own burning fire now. It ain't nobody gonna come and put no gas on the log like a label and promote you. You got to do it. You got to get around your city. You got to go do shows under the fucking freeway. It don't matter. Yeah. But you get a following of at least 40,000 people. They're going to come with money. They'll come with a check. And most people who don't have no money, except for a person like Nipsey Hussle, who was already making $100,000 a year, just hustling out of his car, don't have to take that money. The deal I'm going to negotiate is going to be a label deal. I'm going to get $5 million straight up from you guys, no recoup. Mm. And by then, he's probably going to be having 100,000 people buying that record.
There's another major thing that, like back in the day, before that extreme technological explosion that we have now, right? You had to you needed real skill. It was real people playing.
I know.
It was real people going to the studio. It was real.
And I know you singing. Old school in that vein. You missed that.
You know what I mean?
I miss R&B.
Like the soul.
They're trying to kill that.
And a lot of music these days, it really sounds like a 3-year-old kid on a laptop, man.
Because it is.
And they're uploading it.
Be honest. Most major pop artists now are 21 and under. Maybe. They're probably a few almost 30. But their career is probably over. Like Drake. He probably got about another 2 years before everybody's like, fuck him. But he's got pretty good longevity for right now. But even his stuff sounds exactly like what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's like a 20. This guy's almost 30 years old. He sounds 22.
Look, man, I grew up in Vienna, right? Like some of my classmates, I went to this grammar school for music in Vienna. And
you're a true musician.
I'm talking the next morning, we would all get together and we would ask each other how many hours, and that would mean how many hours did you practice after school?
You sound just like him.
And one guy would be like 6, the other guy 7, another guy I didn't feel well, just 3.
Oh wow.
Another guy's 8. the cello guys, the piano guys, the violin guys. You know what I mean? That's that old school.
You sound just like Arnold. You guys don't fuck around in Austria, boy. Y'all motherfuckers is like, you be fucking.
But no, seriously, I practiced up to 10 hours a day.
I mean, as most of the greatest people that we know, you should know kids from Denver Nuggets. They just won a championship. You got to know that fucking guy trained like a beast. Come on, he's 7 feet something, and he's running up and down the court, not even tired. He ain't even breathing. He looked robotic. I'm like, is that dude got batteries, or is he a real person?
Batteries, right?
But he's from over there, and not saying that nobody over Kobe Bryant. Very similar to you and your love for your passion, which is music and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Art,
like you said, modeling means to an end. That's what that is. But my real passion is music.
Absolutely.
And painting.
Yeah, yeah.
I can see that in your fucking art, man.
Modeling means nothing to me.
Exactly. But you made a couple bucks, though.
Yeah.
Okay. See, I thought means to an end. So that's
means to an end.
Exactly. Yeah. You know, that wasn't your passion. Same thing with Kobe. Kobe's passion was putting that fucking ball in the hoop. I don't know too many people go 3 quarters, hit 81 points, and say, you know what? That's enough. And go sit down and shit. I'm not going to even fucking play you guys. You suck. Yeah. They sat him down the whole 4th quarter. This man had 81. He could have broke Wilt Chamberlain's record of 100 if he'd have played. Another 20 points. What he got? 100? Then 2 more records broke. But he decided to sit down. That's how good he was. That's how good you are, instruments and painting wise. So I see why Austrians are so stiff, because they fucking working.
Oh, I'm American by now, man. I'm not stiff.
That don't mean nothing. Arnold's an American now, but y'all still have that same ideology.
Yeah,
is that safe to say?
Maybe, yeah. Maybe.
But it's no doubt about it. Yeah. You know,
if you want to get the fuck out of there, man, you know, I wanted to leave.
Goddamn.
And drumming was my ticket. You know, I didn't want to come here and be a waiter. You know what I mean? Like I wanted to come here and be a musician.
That's pretty deep, right there.
Come here and be a musician.
How many bands were you in since coming here?
Well, you know, when I first came, of course, you know, I came with 1 bag. Really, I arrived with the old story, man, 1 bag, you know, nothing, right? It was tough, but it was still the old America.
After being so famous back home, though, you didn't have.
I played a lot in Austria. I did a lot of playing with the top guys, you know. But you know, I still wanted to come to America. That was always my dream. That was always my goal, to come here, right? And the challenge, right? It's an incredible challenge. The best players in the world are here.
No doubt.
Best musicians are here. So when I first came, I would sneak into like universities and stuff, and would give some private lessons at night, start some session work. And there's this little place called, you probably know it. It's a club in Studio City. It's called the Baked Potato.
Yes, I do know.
It's a legendary, amazing jazz club, which became my second home. So every day almost, when I was very young coming here, I would go to the Baked Potato, and the door guy knew me. He would let me in. He liked me. He would let me in. And I would hustle and ask the guys, can I sit in? Or like I would give them my business card.
Someone would look at you like,
Yeah, but you know, that's how you get started.
Right.
So I ended up being the house drummer in this band for like 5 years, and did a lot of session work and started teaching at university, at Musicians Institute in Hollywood.
Wow.
So did session work in town, played a lot at the clubs, the local clubs. And I managed to stay here in LA and got the ball rolling that way.
That's fucking cool.
And I got my papers, I got my green card. So I was always a drummer.
So what would you say? How many years did that went on? How many years did that go on?
The Baked Potato years?
Well,
6 years or something like that.
You were around how old then? You had just kind of came to.
Yeah, it was like 20.
It's like 20, okay.
Yeah, like a kid. Man.
Yeah, we kind of covered that a little bit then. I see you. So at that point, what do you think you really was looking to do? Was it music or painting? What did you think to hope to accomplish by coming here?
It was exactly what I did. That's exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted to play with some of my heroes, you know.
Which you did.
Which I did.
Okay.
You know? And I wanted to be a drummer in LA, man. It was my thing. Drumming was always my thing. And the painting, man, it kind of grew out. Like, you know, sometimes we go through dark periods, right?
Yeah.
And you know, don't get me wrong when I say this, but painting is in a way, it's a bittersweet depression art form in a way. It's very isolating, you know. It's very isolating. you by yourself a lot, you know? And sometimes we have to spend time with ourselves, right? And be just marinate in ourselves.
Is that your meditation?
It's meditation. That's exactly what it is, you know? And I always like to draw, and my great-grandfather was a fresco painter, and my granny she's not around anymore, but she was a great
artist too.
Really good at drawing.
I was a good artist too when I was young.
So, but you know, I always just wanted to play when I was a kid. But I liked to draw, and I was pretty good at drawing, and I was not so serious about it. But then I went through this period of like where I needed time for myself and like marinate. Like, what's the next step, and where do you go next? And I kind of got back into Dali and surrealism, and like really started to get more and more into it again. You know, like acrylics, surrealist stuff.
That was your first. Acrylic was the first you started with?
I started mostly acrylics.
I figured you were a pastel guy, but
I'm an oil guy.
Yeah, I know you. Now I can see it now.
Only oil. I don't even do anything.
You're doing nothing but canvas work now, right?
Oil and canvas. That's the only thing I'm doing. You know, and you know, like my technique improved so much, so quick.
And that's not being. Hey, hold on. That's not being vain. When somebody says that, they know that they fucking good. So I always know that. So it ain't always vanity. It's like, man, I'm just telling you the truth.
You know, my technique improved. And one day I went to Rome. I was in Europe, playing in Europe, doing a clinic in Europe. And I went to Rome and saw all the Leonardo da Vinci and Michelangelo, all the figures, right? The realistic Italian old stuff. Right? I said, you know what? That's the next step for me, like in art, you know, like I'm going away from that surrealistic stuff and I want to get more into the human figure. You see my paintings, right? On Instagram, right?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of naked figures, right?
Yeah. What I saw, there's a few.
You know, and the human figure.
The form was good, though.
Dex, the human figure is the most difficult thing to paint.
You think so?
You know why? Because you, as the spectator, you can you relate to it 100%. If your shoulder is here and the other shoulder is here, or if I paint a beautiful woman and one nipple is a little bit like too far off,
right?
You're like that's not right, you know. Right. That nipple is, you know, that's not right. So the human figure is the top goal in art. If you can paint skin tone, light hitting the skin. You know what I mean? That's an incredible challenge.
I would agree with you on that. The type of art that you do is considered, you know, fine art. But I'm have to be honest with you. Cartoonists are some of the most amazing fucking artists I've ever met in my life.
Something different,
dude. The stuff that you just said about the shadowing and shading.
Oh yeah.
Dude, go look at some comic books. Specific Todd McFarlane, for one, the guy who drew Spawn. The way that guy uses light and shadow in his goddamn drawings is it's amazing, bro. It's amazing. It's almost like film. It's almost like it's real.
It's different.
That's how good he is of drawing something.
Yeah.
Now his claim to fame, and I'm only bringing him up because you're an artist and you may not know this. There's on Marvel Comics, like one superhero will have 5 or 6 titles, and they're all drawn by different artists. The Web of Spider-Man, the Spectacular Spider-Man, just straight up Spider-Man. It's all different titles. Some even are in different dimensions, like a second Earth or something like that, to where this Spider-Man has wings or some shit.
Yeah.
Todd McFarlane used to draw the Spectacular Spider-Man. He became the guy that that Stan Lee, and it was just so odd and so surreal how he drew him. He was very skinny, and it's just people fell in love with the shit. That's how he became famous, and he went on to start his own company and draw Spawn and and stuff like that. So to be honest with you, art to me, whether it's singing, music, people that draw, that's what moves this. That's what moves this place. I believe people that do workout or do what Arnold did with the weights, that's an art form in a lot of senses. Bodybuilding. If to sculpt a body is almost like a sculptor actually making a Greek god. If somebody could go in there and do them weights and they get to look at it, shit, they're like, ooh-wee, you know, they're sculpting, they're fucking painting themselves or chipping away at their bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And they become an actual work of art at these bodybuilding things, and the women do too. That's an art form. Fucking boxing, they call it the sweet science, and that don't sound like art.
There are lots of parallels between
Exactly.
drumming and boxing. The rudiment, the physical part of drumming.
You get it.
You know what I mean?
You get it. When they talk about it scientifically, they say exactly the things that you just mentioned right there.
Yeah.
Because it's all a common denominator. And so people need to realize we all have these talents. There's
martial arts, you know, martial
for
arts.
sure, martial arts. The funny thing about martial arts is you're absolutely right. The martial arts that Jet Li, he's from Wushu. That's fucking opera. Art. You know what I'm saying? These guys are doing martial arts while doing a play. So if you get, all of that's relative, you're exactly right when you brought that up. So I only brought that up to say there's some fucking guy right now driving a bus. And he's probably insane when everybody's on the bus. But when he's pulling in or he's getting up in the morning to go to start his route, he's singing some song. You gotta know, and can sing his ass off. Mm-hmm. And he missed his fucking calling. I really believe that. To me, that's actually a travesty. When I
tell you something, man, you're so right. Like, you know, I teach university,
mm-hmm.
and sometimes, you know, you have older people come in.
Would you like some water, love, or anything? You sure? I hope you're not too bored. And I hope it ain't too weeded up in here because we smoking like a No, continue.
You know, I have sometimes, like right now, there's a great guy. He's a doctor, right?
Okay.
Brilliant guy. But his real passion was music.
He feels like he missed his calling.
From an early age on. And now in his late 40s, he's like, that's what I really want to do, you know? So he's coming back to it, you know, because once you have it in you, it's never going to go away.
It ain't.
It comes back. And
it's going to keep tapping it.
Some people are doctors. Some people are lawyers. You know what? Some people are just musicians, man. And if you have it in you, you will overcome all the struggles, you know, that come with eventually.
I see it.
You know what I mean?
I see it every day. When you meet people and the guy says, I'm an attorney, but then you talk to him and he's fucking cracking jokes. Nah, you're a comedian. You missed your calling. I don't give a shit. He's probably using his little tete-a-tete in the courtroom.
Some people are called, but some people are called to be doctors.
But there's some people that's supposed to be a lawyer. Like the guy, Larry Parker. The guy says, I'll get you 1 million jobs. What else can that fucking guy do other than do that?
Right. Some people are real doctors.
You can just see it. He ain't got nothing else going except being Larry Parker to get you that money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
he's supposed to be
that's his calling.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
But then I've met people who are doctors, firemen, cops, and they're fucking talented as shit, painters, everything. And they go, oh, well, I had to make some money some way. And it's a damn travesty that the arts aren't funded more. I think they need to be funded more, man. They just do, because more people, I think, have art in them more than they do just working in some fucking factory somewhere.
Look, man, it's all a mindset. Are you a rich artist? How do you approach it? And let's talk about Arnold again. You're thinking, you know this guy?
Yeah.
You think that guy just lifted weights, man? You know, that guy I wrote 8 books about drumming. I have 12 DVDs out. I started my own drum company.
He's written a few books.
You know, my own drum company, my own cymbals, my own drumsticks.
He helped produce Pumping Iron.
You have to be like an entrepreneur, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's not the 80s anymore. Like, we all know that, right? It's a much tougher world now. It's much more complex.
Hey, hold on, man. Don't come on my podcast talking like me. Now, obviously, you haven't watched an episode, but we're kindred spirits. I speak about this shit all the time. I said back in the day, people used to have hobbies. Now, and those are things you would do in your pastime. Well, guess what? If you fucking made model airplanes and you flew them around, now you got to make them to sell. You got to. You just can't. You can't bottle. You can't come off work a 9 to 5 these days. Go and try to, put some matches in there and make a ship in a bottle. You better be doing that shit to take this to a store and say, I do matches and chip in a bottle. How much you want for it? You know what I'm saying? Everybody's hobbies today have to be monetized.
It's a completely different world.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
You'll fuck around and if you're swimming, let me metaphorically say this. If you're swimming and you start getting tired, and what I mean by being tired metaphorically is if you stop doing more or doing something extra, you're going to fucking drown. This place will drown you. This city will drown you.
Yeah. Yep.
It's a tough place. I grew up here.
It's a tough place.
Out South Central. But imagine this. Let's talk about me for a second.
Of course.
I went to a school called Fauché Junior High School. This school's on Western Exposition, South Central. Smack dab in the heart of it, baby. I grew up, I was on 36. No, at the time I was on 39th at Cimarron. It's weird how I was over here, went to school there, then moved closer and went to school over there. But these guys used to fucking chase me and beat my ass every day. Every day. Imagine trying to go to school and go from one class to the next and learn some shit. But you're like this, your head on a swivel. You looking for it every time. Until it got to the point where I had to just lose my marbles and just fight everybody every day. That's the kind of stuff cities will do to you. You know what I'm saying? You're either going to go through that and become nuts, or you're going to go through that and become a father and raise 2 kids that graduate college. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what happened to me. Of course, I'm scarred from some of the things that might have happened, like maybe you are from your childhood.
We all are.
Exactly.
Right?
The thing is,
it's how you deal with it.
It's how you deal with it. What are you going to do? What outlet are you going to do? Arnold Schwarzenegger went into doing pump and iron, and he turned that into something. He monetized that. You know,
you have to take that energy and that frustration and funnel it
into something positive.
You get better and better and better in what you do. Like when I was younger, teaching was more like a means to an end. But I just gave a clinic, and this 14-year-old guy shows up, right? A young kid just playing a rock band, right? Mm-hmm. He was all nervous, right?
Of course.
And I help him through the song, and we talk a little bit, and I tell him, man, you were really good. You keep going, right? And I show him a new beat, and I see his eyes go
light up.
I'm like,
sponge.
Exactly. That kid lit up, man. He was so happy, you know? And
would you consider
maybe that moment gave him a meaning. Maybe the rest of his life.
Definitely. Let's hope that moment meant so much to him to where in a couple days if something really fucked up happens.
You see this.
He thinks about you, and that's the moment he's like, I'm gonna get past this.
You see this dumbing down of society.
Sure.
Right? You see it in politics. You see it in everything.
For sure.
Go on TikTok. I mean, people breaking up on TikTok and talking.
It's crazy, man.
Talking about filming their grandmother's funeral.
What about the worst things that on TikTok? I got banned on TikTok for talking shit about TikTok. I had 4,000 TikTok followers, right? I'm gonna check it.
I don't know. Bullshit.
I was on my way to showing people every great film I thought they needed to see. From my perspective, that's my TikTok. It wasn't me sitting there going, you know what? Pay me and talking about stupid shit.
Pour some water.
There's chicks. There's chicks on there. They're women. I call them chicks because they look like actually livestock. Girl on the damn thing with shorts on, coochie wide open, halter top, nipples hard, and just saying, just sitting there waiting for people to pay her. That's what's on TikTok.
It's insane, man.
It's insanity, bro.
How much lower can it go, man? How much lower can we go as
society?
The
actual pit open up, a bunch of flames come out, and little demons go, hey, you know what, man? This shit is fun. Let's start poking some people. That's when it's going to get that low. It's almost there. Look, it's crazy. I am not a Bible thumper, but I love God. I love him. That's my guy. I was going to mention, we were talking about reinventing yourself and, when shit ain't going a certain way, blah, blah, blah. I'm 56 years old and I do a podcast. I'm 56 years old and I act. I have a job this Friday that's $500. I'm out here getting it, man. And I was doing bad. I've been homeless. I've talked about that on my show. But I'm looking at the street like I don't like it out here. I was like a little kid. This shit is whack. I'm out of here. I'm trying to figure out whatever I got to do. And I did that.
You know what I think is really important? That it
pisses me off when I see people out there giving up. That shit pisses me off, bro.
You can't give up, man. And think in islands, right? Think like you have your music island, and you want to make a ton of money, man. You find a new hero, Warren Buffett, right? You better learn about the guy. The guy's fucking smart.
I know he is.
He's smart, man. You ever hear him talk?
Well, as far as I'm concerned. There's a black guy that's richer than Warren Buffett.
Maybe, yeah.
There's no maybe about it. That's the thing that pisses me off about the States. Now, I'm a brother. Let's get on that. now we mentioning it. You mentioned Warren Buffett, billionaire, extraordinaire, a friend to Floyd Mayweather. Him and Floyd Mayweather are friends. But a lot of people don't know there's a black telecommunications a billionaire, this third most richest motherfucker in the United States.
Yeah,
people don't even know it. My people need to know that. You know what I'm saying? You know who Byron Allen is?
You can't, no.
Byron Allen used to be on a show called That's Incredible. He's a very lame ass comedian, but he's rich as fuck. That motherfucker owns the Weather Channel. When the Weather Channel was about to go under and there wasn't going to be no Weather Channel, he went in there, scooped in and bought that motherfucker. And then he put it in his conglomerate, and the next thing you know, he's worth 16 bill. So that's how you do that. But they need to show my people getting them money just like everybody else.
You learn, like, you find like a smart guy who's really good at what they do.
Sure.
And then what pattern is there, right? What can you learn about these guys? You know?
You better watch them because they're not going to tell you shit.
No, but there's a lot we can
Everybody
learn.
does this.
You know, like the biographies.
I agree with you totally. You can watch their moves and see what they did.
It's the same like if you're a young drummer, man, you know, and you look at Buddy Rich's hand. It's insane, man, how good this guy was. Then, you know, wait a minute, what's he doing? If you look at it over and over and over.
Buddy Rich and talk to him because artists, especially people who do the same thing, love that shit. If he's dope and you're a drummer, you're like, bro,
you mean sharing, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Warren Buffett ain't finna do that.
Well, he shares a lot of information, actually. You know.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, look, let me tell you something about money. People who make money, they will give you some like, oh, I did this and I've done this and I've done that. But then you're sitting there going, okay, you did that, but how the fuck did you do that? They're never going to tell you shit. They'll give you a little information. People who have money don't tell nobody nothing. Because if they did, it'd be other motherfuckers out there with money. Now, are there people out there who would like to make money and just too fucking stupid that if you even gave them a map to the goal, they wouldn't find it? Sure. You know what I'm saying? But there are people out there who are broke as hell, desperate, and are very smart that'll never, and I mean never, get any love or any fucking know-how from anybody who's got cash because they'll see that shit in them. And nobody who has money wants competition. You know that.
Yes.
So, you know, even Arnold Schwarzenegger, come on, man. We're talking about the guy. We've been talking about the guy the whole fucking pod. He was one of the worst people when it came to competition. He would do all kind of psychological shit just to fuck with people. So he beat their ass and then talk about how he won 7 Mr. Olympians afterwards and rubbing it in Lou Ferrigno's face and his best friend, the little Franco guy. You too fucking short. You'll never win. You short. You're too short. Nobody likes you. You're a dwarf. He said that to him. You dwarf. Psyched them all out. You know what I'm saying? But then Lee Haney showed up. Lee Haney was the only dude that ever got in Arnold's ass. And Arnold knew that. And he knew it was time to get out of here. And he went to that next profession, which, wow, let's be honest. That shit, it made him. The weightlifting shit was cool.
Yeah. But
that acting shit, God damn.
Absolutely.
You know, so that's what you're talking about with the reinvention. It never stops. Your life is a maturation of the evolution of cocoon, butterfly.
Get out of the comfort
butterfly.
Get
exactly.
out of the comfort zone and stay there.
But a lot of people will get in that cocoon and never fucking turn into a butterfly.
I think a lot of people are scared.
I've done.
A lot of people are scared.
For sure. My son is one of the dopest rappers I've ever. And look, let me tell you something about hip hop. I love hip hop. I'm 56 years old. I'm doing hip hop at 56. When I heard his music, I was like, man, you got something here, man. People need to hear this. He ain't got that same in him like I do. Like, I got to go out there and tell everybody, goddamn it, everybody got to hear this. Nigga, listen. He's like, let it happen naturally. Real organic, real laid back. Like, whatever. I want to do more music. Just, that shit's cool. Motherfucker had it. Like, I remember he did the music after like 6 months. I'm bored with that. I want some new shit.
That's how most kids are.
I get it. But they don't realize they first shit is the shit people hear first. And that tells them everything they need to know about the guy. You know what I'm saying? You can put all the new singers you didn't want up in there. They're going to listen to that previous shit to see who you really are. I've seen it. Motherfucker told me, he said, man, most dudes, if I catch them and I see, oh, who is this dude? He'll look at the single, but then he'll go to the discography just to see what he did back in, how long he been rapping. Oh, shit, let me check this shit out. And then they listen to it. Damn, he dope. Let me listen to the new shit now. That's what they do. My son is like, whatever. But he's dope as hell, though. Real smart kid.
Maybe he's going to find something else.
He plays hoop. He loves bat. Dude loves it. And he thinks he missed his calling by having some ups and downs on the varsity team when he was a senior in high school. He didn't actually get to play, and there was some coaching him, and it's a whole bunch of bullshit. He did go up to last in college. Coach up there didn't even give him no run. He didn't get to play like he wanted. Oh, you're a freshman, gonna play next year. He's like, bro, I'm not gonna come back if you're not gonna play.
Many young people get distracted.
They do.
And then they like, I do this for 3 weeks and I do this for 2 months. And then I'm like, now I'm a drummer, now I'm a this, You got to find your.
He's going to find, I think his center is music. He knows it. He was in the studio with me recently, did an incredible new song. It's amazing. Awesome. So I think I think just like anything else, he's going to work and he's going to twiddle and, keep making music. This shit costs to go to them studios too, unless you got a buddy that's like dynamite and got it set up somewhere and you could just rock with it. But we go to a professional place. The engineer is top notch. He's one of the tops in LA. And, it costs. Shit. Let me get back to you, man. Now, I'm going to talk about a couple news topics that, I don't know if you know this actor. His name is Julian Sands.
I don't know.
Do you remember a movie called Warlock, where he was like a witch? He got famous from doing that film. Real famous. Julian Sands is a real good, that man was found dead at Mount Baldy, San Bernardino County.
When?
Recently.
Wow.
It's as little as yesterday. From what it says is actor Julian Sands' body was found on Mount Baldy as the actor had been missing around 10 a.m. Saturday morning. San Bernardino County Sheriff said he'd been missing for at least a week. It's under some very mysterious circumstances. They don't know if he died of exposure after being hiking or something like that. He didn't even look like he had hiking gear on. Julian Sands is an English actor too. He's from Europe and a veteran actor. I've seen him in several films from Michael Jai White and different people. He's played bad guys in films and everything like that. Very known character actor. Dead. Found in the damn mountains.
Wow.
How weird is that?
It's weird.
Have you heard any other weird stories like that?
Did he go hiking or what happened?
Nobody knows.
He was just there.
They just some people that were hiking in the area just found him.
Wow.
That is so strange. I had to put that down when I read that because not only am I a fan of the guy because I saw the picture, I was like, oh, that's Julian Sands. It's like, oh wow. So I was like, I didn't know if you knew him or not, but I just wanted to mention that. That was weird.
That's
weird, bro.
So you want to know weird, like if I know anything?
Yeah. Have you ever heard any like things like that about any actors or?
You okay?
Oh shit.
I heard a really strange story. I'm not sure if it's true, but a little fisher boat, like fisherman boat, in the middle of the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
One of a sudden, a cow falls on the boat in the middle of the ocean.
Shut up.
Because the back door of a plane opened up and they were transporting animals, obviously. So the cow fell out of the plane and
killed that guy
and hit that boat in the middle of the
what the man? What kind of?
How high are the odds?
That's a million, trillion, quadrillion, billion.
Trillion. In the middle of the
flying cow.
Flying cow.
What the fuck? Yeah, that's it. That's wild. Now, I didn't expect you to go there. I like the story.
Weird story.
I like the story, but this actually was this is a morbid story, sad story about this. But I like that story better. It's more of a funny story about death than this because this guy was a known actor, and it's under some really mysterious circumstances. Now, I kind of think foul play might be involved in this one, but I just wanted to throw that out there. There's also a video going around. And this is amazing. Now, you tell me what you think about this. There's a video going around of a family that conducted their own night sea search for their missing son, who got left in the ocean. He was missing for some hours, like 10 hours, and they were looking for this kid. And they said the fucking people wasn't finding him. The search and rescue wasn't looking or something. They went out and did their own search, and they fucking found him. I watched the video just today before, and I had to write it down. Go look it up. Family who found their missing son in the middle of the ocean. So it was like the family conducted their own sea rescue of their son who was lost at sea accidentally when left by a deep sea, not deep sea, but scuba party. They left him by accidentally, and they went back to the last known area where he was, where he drifted away. But they searched that area, and they came upon him.
Crazy.
How God is good to rescue that kid, because that's why I don't do the water. Now you know about that. And what do you think about that? First off, before I ask you about what I'm about to say, you start to get some friggin' moths in this motherfucker. Go ahead. What do you think about that? Is that interesting or?
It's amazing.
That's the most amazing story I ever heard in my life. And I'm watching them while they're doing it because they're filming it.
They found him. My God.
They found his ass. Now, what do you think about that submersible?
Just imagine your kid is gone, right? The worst thing that can happen, right?
Man, I'd be on that boat.
You know what I mean?
Just my eyes wide open, just looking. I don't even, my kids ain't gonna be out there nowhere. Out there, fuck it, I can't swim. I'm not doing no water. I don't even like pools. So, you know, you're never gonna catch me slipping out there. So, at all. So, the submersible, the Ocean Gate, that blew up recently with the billionaires going down there to the Titanic. How fucking retarded are you to go down there? 13,000 feet, man.
I heard about that.
There's no fucking way. I talked about it already on my pod before, but since you're here, I wanted to bring it up.
Crazy.
Everybody's mentioning it, so why the fuck should not? It's not good that you're down there. First off, I believe in ghosts. And I know you're probably thinking like, okay, you believe in ghosts. What the fuck? There are ghosts down there. Those people are still dead in that fucking ship. Their spirits are still down there. Let's hope they ain't down there, but some of the fuckers who are assholes probably are in purgatory under the 13,000 feet of fucking water.
Did you see the James Cameron going down all the way?
He did that. He went down there too and looked at it. But that's what and you know that company.
How far was that?
13,000 feet down there.
That's where the Titanic.
That's where the thing blew up. Yeah, where the Titanic. That thing was right next to the
James Cameron went way deeper, man. There's a documentary.
He went down to Mariana's Trench, right? Yeah. But he had to decompress.
Like 8 miles or something, right?
Dude, that's the one I don't want to do because you got to decompress. You got to go in the thing because you could blow up when you go up there.
Crazy. You'll
start getting nose. Your body's got to do the pressurization thing. I can't do that. It's like, you know, it's the same thing. Being that deep down is similar to being in outer space, they said. Because you know, up there it's the same thing. The pressure. You know, the pressure is like the pressure. This is how space works. As you start to leave this atmosphere, say like air is like this. And as you go, it starts to go like this. Once you hit outer space, that shit is like, so if that suit opens or something, you're going to sit in the eyes. A perfect example is your boy. We talked about him all fucking podcast, Arnold Schwarzenegger, in Total Recall. When he ended up in Total Recall, his suit broke and shit, his eyes. Yeah. But I love you, Arnold, man. Please, if you see this, this is all love. I swear to God. That would happen to you. You know what I'm saying? It's very similar to how it would be in the ocean. That shit is crazy, bro. Let me. Oh yeah, folks. The normal thing that we do on the Corner Store podcast. Everybody knows this is Primrose Gin. This has been the spirit of the month for the month of June, not July. June, June. It's a wonderful bottle, man. This is some great stuff. Guess what? We have gone to whiskey now and show that to the people. That is 1867 fine Canadian whiskey. Wow. And that is what you need to be getting right now. You can buy that at any of the route stores out there. The price on it is very magnificent. Some of the best. It rivals. I wouldn't say it's good as Hennessy, but it's right fucking there. And it's top notch whiskey. And that is for you, my friend.
Thank you so much,
man. I
really appreciate it.
I appreciate you for coming, man. I appreciate it. We're about to wrap this up. It has been great to have you here. Please tell everybody where they can see you, where they can see some of your stuff. Let them know. Like, just find me on Instagram, and I always post shows and art shows and everything. So just come out, watch me play. And
Be in touch.
You know what I'm saying? His Instagram, once again, is
Galane_official.
Galane_official. Y'all know mine, you know what I'm saying? Corner Store Podcast, at Corner Store Podcast on Instagram, as well as DEX300 all day. And also the Corner Store Podcast YouTube channel. As you can see, we're on Corner Store Podcast right now, but we're about to get up out of here. Thank you again.
Thank you,
You are the man, 50 grand. Appreciate you for being here, man.
Thank you so
and
much.
This has been, once again, y'all, and I got to get my outro music. I got to get it. You know I got to play it, man. I ain't going to do it too loud because we got the doors open tonight. The doors. I'm doing the doors. Let's go. Thanks. Appreciate y'all. I can't even talk right now. I'm super high. It's been great. My man, 50 grand right here. Let's go. Galane. Fuck. I can't say his name to save my life, but you know who he is. We've been rocking tonight. Thank you for seeing the Corner Store Podcast, and we out of here. Let's go. Thank you, bro.